Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Here I am going to share you the summary of my learnings in the course Building Technology 4. This course will teach architecture students about specification writing, about the materials that will be used in different projects, and it will be tackled on how to compute the numbers of materials needed in the project and what will be the cost of specific materials. At the very first, we tackled the different 50 divisions of materials specification and what are the materials included in those divisions. After that, we studied the different types of specification, how to write, how to write them, and the different techniques how to classify them. This could be performance specification, descriptive specification, reference specification, and proprietary specification. This could be presented by sentence form, writing style, and specification language. After this, we created an outline specification of a specific architectural design. The purpose of it is to list down the different materials that could be possibly needed in the project so that it is easy to identify them. After that, we studied also how to compute the materials needed for concrete works, for structural walls, floors, slabs, and others such as rebars, cements, sands, and gravels. We are also taught about about the different ratios of concrete depending on the use because in concrete there is a different class of mixtures of cement, sand, and gravel. Another thing is the computing of rebars needed in the specification project. Example in the walls, floors, and slabs, columns, and footing. Aside from that, we were also taught how to compute the needed CHB for walls and the needed cement and sand for mortars, plasterings, and fillers. We were also taught how to reduce the needed CHB for walls if there are openings on the walls such as the doors and windows. And as I remember, the contingency for the materials could be 5 to 10% depending on the project if it is small or big. After this one, we were also taught how to compute the roofing materials needed in a project. It could be clay tiles or it could be GI roof or anything. You just have to compute the dimension of the roofing material and identify the lapping for the roofing. And aside from that, we were also taught how to compute the needed ceiling materials, which is also easy. However, the difficult part here is to know and to research the different materials that will support the roof and ceiling. That is why you have to make a plan first and do an outline specification because the length of those supports are important in this part. After that, we were also taught how to compute the paint needed for the specific surface. For example, wood and concrete have different paint requirements because wood and concrete have different properties. The same with tiles. You just have to compute the area of a single tile and divide it by the area where you have to apply it. You just have to provide contingency to ensure that the number of tiles will be enough for the surface. Another thing is that we studied electrical and plumbing. In this part, I realized that you have to create an electrical and plumbing plan properly because it will help you to measure the length of pipes and wires needed for the project. And isometric view of plan will help you to identify easily the fittings that are needed for the project. For electrical, you have to know the diameter of pipes needed, measure the overall length, count the different fittings that are required, and identify the prices so you can multiply it by the numbers of materials, and it is the same with the plumbing also. Uh, However, in the electrical, you have to base it on the riser diagram for a successful electrical distribution. For this, I can say that Building Technology 1, 2, and 3 is helpful for this project. For doors and windows, you can look for the different prices of these things online and in brochure or anywhere. You can also estimate the price through Pilcon prices. for this thing because it gives you an idea about the estimation of cost, because it gives a cost per square meters of doors and windows. Aside from that, we were also taught how to easily compute the materials needed, like doors, windows, and other materials like the CHB, the slabs, and the column. Uh, it is because our instructor told us to make a list of a total cost per area of different materials, and she gave us a graded discussion so we can participate in the computation and activity. For example, in 1 square meter, for the CHB, in 1 square meter, you will be required to have a 12.5 pieces of CHB, whether it is 6 inches or 4 inches. There will be a lot of things to be learned in this subject since it is not yet the end of the term of the school year, and there are a lot of things to be discussed. For the student who will take this course already, you just have to focus on the quantity, make a list of materials, and always take note so that you will not be confused, especially if you are computing. That is the summary of my learning, and um, I hope that many students will have an idea about this video. Thank you for listening.